When she finally reaches out after giving you silence, distance, and emotional withdrawal, the first thing you must understand is this: your response defines your value. Most men collapse the moment she returns. Their emotions rush forward. Their heart softens instantly, and they reply with excitement, relief, or desperation. But a stoic man does not move like that. He does not give instant access. He does not allow her absence to raise his anxiety, nor her return to control his emotions. Silence is powerful. Her silence taught you something. It reminded you that people can leave. Your silence should teach her something too, that you don't break. When she pulls away and then comes back, it means she's curious about something. Maybe she missed your energy. Maybe her life felt empty without your presence. Maybe she expected you to chase and noticed you didn't. Or maybe she wants to see whether you are still emotionally available. Whatever the reason, your first response is not about winning her back. It's about showing your emotional discipline. This moment is a test, not of love, but of self-control. Your first instinct may be to rush, to reconnect, to fill the silence. But your higher self must step in. This is your chance to show that you are a man who does not react, but responds. A man who remains steady when others expect him to be weak. A man who keeps his frame no matter who comes or goes. Your tone, your timing, your calmness, they all speak louder than your words. They tell her exactly what you've become in her absence. Because in the end, when she reaches out after pulling away, the real question is not, will she stay? The real question is, will you remain in control? When she finally reaches out after pulling away, most men make a very predictable mistake. They get excited. Their heart races. Their mind rushes. And they reply with emotional relief, as if a return is some kind of gift. But here's the truth: a stoic man understands. A woman rarely reaches out without a reason. Sometimes she's curious, sometimes guilty, sometimes lonely, sometimes simply checking if you're still available, and sometimes she's not even sure what she wants. She just wants to see how you behave. Your job isn't to celebrate. Your job is to stay calm. Calmness is your greatest power here, because it shows you have emotional control. It shows you weren't sitting in pain waiting for her message. It tells her, without words, that you didn't fall apart in her absence. And that raises your value more than any perfect line ever could. When you stay neutral, she doesn't get the validation she expected. She doesn't see desperation. She doesn't sense relief. Instead, she senses maturity, self-respect, and inner strength. This is exactly what creates attraction again. Not emotional chasing, but emotional discipline. Why does calmness matter? Because people respect what they cannot easily influence. If her silence didn't break you, if her absence didn't weaken you, if her return doesn't make you lose control, she starts seeing you differently. Staying calm isn't about being rude. It's about sending a silent message. I am grounded. I don't panic. I don't chase. And trust me, that energy is unforgettable. Men reply instantly for one simple reason: fear. Fear of losing her again. Fear of looking uninterested. Fear of missing the opportunity. But a powerful man knows that instant access is cheap access. When you reply immediately after she reaches out, you're sending a message, even if you don't say it with words, that you were waiting, hoping, maybe even hurting, and that destroys your frame. Waiting before replying isn't a game. It's a demonstration of emotional independence. You don't delay to punish her. You delayed because your world didn't stop just because she pulled away. When you take your time, it subtly tells her, you have responsibilities. You have a purpose. You weren't sitting with your phone in hand. You've moved forward with your life. This delay builds curiosity inside her mind. Is he busy? Is he okay? Did he move on? Is he still interested? These thoughts increase your value because she's now analyzing you. Instead of you analyzing her, the key is controlled waiting, not childish ignoring, not hours to prove a point, just enough time to show calmness and confidence. Remember, women feel energy more than words. A calm, delayed response says more about your character than 1,000 texts ever could. Waiting shows discipline. Discipline shows strength. Strength creates attraction. When she reaches out after pulling away, your response timing becomes your first silent message. Make sure it communicates power. When she finally reaches out, your first message carries more weight than you think. Most men do the opposite of what creates attraction. They respond with long paragraphs, emotional explanations, or overly friendly energy. But a stoic man understands that the first reply sets the frame. If your reply is too long, you appear eager. If it's too emotional, you look affected. If it's too warm, she feels she still has full access to you. A short message is not about being cold. It is about being controlled, centered, and measured. Short replies communicate three powerful things. 1. You are not desperate. If your reply is calm and short, she instantly knows you weren't waiting by the phone. You didn't break emotionally. You didn't crumble because she pulled away. This alone sets you apart from most men. 2. You are emotionally stable. A short, balanced message shows that you respond with logic, not emotion. Women respect men whose emotions do not control them. Point 3. You are not giving her instant full access again. Just because she reached out doesn't mean she gets the same version of you she once had. Your short reply subtly says, access to me is earned, not assumed. A short message also places responsibility back on her. She has to continue the conversation. She has to show effort. She has to reveal her intention. This flips the dynamic. Now she is investing again. So keep it simple.com/clean. Something like, hey, good to hear from you. No explanation. No emotional oversharing. Silence makes people think. Short replies make people chase. When she comes back after pulling away, the biggest trap men fall into is emotional confrontation. They ask, why did you disappear? What happened? Why did you ignore me? Were you talking to someone else? These questions don't make her come closer. They push her further away. Why? Because they reveal anxiety, insecurity, and emotional dependence. A stoic man knows that the truth always comes out without forcing it. People reveal their intentions through behavior, not interrogation. When she reaches out again, she already knows she was distant. She already knows she left without clarity. She already knows she created silence. You don't need to remind her. She's more aware of it than you are. By not bringing it up immediately, you communicate calm strength. You show her that your life didn't freeze. You show her that you're not emotionally fragile. You show her that you are not seeking reassurance. And most importantly, you let her open the door for explanation. If she wants to reconnect, she will naturally start explaining herself without you asking. She will tell you why she pulled away, what she was feeling, and why she's returning now. When you don't chase closure, she feels safe giving it. When you don't force her to talk, she talks more. When you don't seek answers, she brings them. Your silence shows maturity. Your patience shows confidence. Your self-control shows value. So don't rush into emotional discussion. You are not trying to fix the past. You are evaluating the present. Let her reveal her truth in her own time. Matching energy is one of the most powerful skills a man can develop in relationships. Most people focus on what she says. A stoic man focuses on how she says it. When she reaches out, her energy will tell you more than her words ever could. If a message is casual, keep your reply casual. If her message is light, keep your reply light. If her message is curious but not committed, mirror that balance. Matching energy doesn't mean copying her tone. It means reflecting her level of investment. If she's giving 30%, you don't give 70%. If she's giving 10%, you don't give 50%. You stay aligned, steady, centered. Why is this powerful? 1. It prevents you from Men often over-explain, over-text, and Matching her energy stops you from giving too much too soon. 2. It creates emotional equilibrium. Women feel safe when a man's energy is steady and grounded. You are not trying to impress. You are not trying to prove your worth. You simply match her pace. 3. It lets her do the leading for a while. She pulled away. She created distance. She broke the connection. Now she must make the effort to rebuild it. Matching her energy allows her to step forward naturally. If she increases effort, you increase effort. This way, the connection becomes balanced again. Matching energy is not weakness. It is wisdom. It protects your heart. It maintains your frame. It ensures you don't fall into emotional imbalance. Because the man who stays steady becomes the man she respects. When she reaches out after pulling away, the worst thing a man can do is act like his world starts spinning again. Many men instantly shift their attention back to her, abandoning their routines, their discipline, their goals. This tells her she is still at the center of his life, and that kills attraction instantly. A stoic man stays rooted in purpose, not people. Your mission, your growth, your discipline, your craft, these things must always stay above emotional shifts. When she returns, she should feel that you've been evolving. Your energy should tell her, you didn't pause my life. You didn't stop my growth. I kept moving. Women are drawn to men who keep becoming better, not for them, but for themselves. Purpose is magnetic because it shows self. A man on a mission is not easily swayed by emotions. He responds from strength, not need. How do you demonstrate purpose subtly? Mention your work, gym, or goals calmly. Show consistency in your routine. Keep your time valuable. Don't drop everything for her message. You're not trying to impress her. You're simply living your life. She should feel that you have direction, clarity, and ambition. Purpose is a boundary. Purpose is protection. Purpose is power. When she sees that you have grown, matured, and stayed disciplined during her absence, she naturally feels drawn toward you again. Because women don't fall for men who wait. They fall for men who rise. Asterisk when she reaches out after pulling away. This is not your signal to jump back in with full force. This is her move, not yours. She walked away. She created the silence. She made the emotional distance. Now that she is returning, she must be the one to rebuild the bridge. Most men try to rush the reconnection. They ask too many questions. They try too hard to bring back what was lost. But a stoic man understands a simple truth. The person who pulled away must be the person who reopens the connection. Your job now is to give her space to lean in. Don't push conversation. Don't fill the silence. Don't force emotional intimacy. Just respond calmly and allow her to take steps forward. When she sends a message, let her send the next one. When she asks something small, let her ask something deeper next time. When she shows curiosity, let her show consistency. This shift creates a powerful psychological effect. She feels responsible for the connection again. She starts investing emotionally. She starts wondering about your mindset. She starts feeling the natural pull that silence created. When she does the work, she values the outcome. When she initiates, she becomes emotionally committed. When she leans in, she feels attraction growing again. A stoic man doesn't chase what returns. He evaluates it. He watches effort. He watches consistency. He watches emotional clarity. Let her build the connection she once broke. Let her prove she wants it. Let her show her intentions through action, not words. Because true strength is not in rushing toward her. It's in letting her come toward you. When a woman pulls away, disappears, or becomes inconsistent, her return may come with mixed intentions. She might be lonely, confused, unsure, or simply testing the waters. This is exactly why setting a calm boundary is powerful, not to punish her, but to define how you expect to be treated. A calm boundary is not drama. It's not emotional. It's not confrontational. It's simply clarity. Many men fear setting boundaries because they think it will push her away. But the truth is the opposite. A woman respects a man with standards more than a man who accepts everything silently. Boundaries show strength, self-worth, and emotional maturity. A calm boundary can be as simple as saying, "I value consistency," or "I prefer clear communication." Short, calm, strong, no paragraphs, no arguments, no emotional explosions. A boundary is not about controlling her behavior. It's about communicating yours. You are showing what you allow, what you tolerate, and what you expect. If she is genuinely interested, she will step up. If she isn't, she will drift away, and that saves you time, energy, and emotional investment. Boundaries filter people. Weak men avoid them. Strong men express them. Stoic men enforce them quietly. A boundary also helps you avoid falling back into old patterns. If she disappeared before without explanation, a boundary ensures it doesn't happen again. If she was inconsistent, a boundary creates clarity. When delivered calmly, boundaries become attractive. They show that you are a man of principle, a man who respects himself, and a man who respects himself automatically becomes someone she respects too. Because in relationships, silence may create curiosity, but boundaries create respect. Point 9. Don't rush to meet or call 300 words when she comes back after pulling away. She might test how quickly you fold. Many women do this unconsciously. They want to see if you still value them more than you value yourself. That's why rushing to meet or call her the moment she returns is a mistake. A stoic man moves with measured pace. He doesn't jump. He doesn't chase. He doesn't rearrange his life overnight. Meeting or calling too soon communicates, "I was waiting for you. I still need your approval. You can disappear any time and I'll still be here." But when you take your time calmly, respectfully, you send a very different message. My time is valuable. My schedule matters. I'm not emotionally dependent on your presence. This balanced distance makes you more attractive. It shows emotional independence. Women respect men who don't fall instantly back into old patterns. They feel safer with men who think clearly instead of acting impulsively. Not rushing also gives you time to evaluate her intentions. Is she genuinely reconnecting? Is she just bored? Is she lonely? Is she testing your availability? Is she seeking validation? Waiting gives you clarity. Going slow gives you power. Calm pacing gives you control. And here's the truth. If she's serious, she will wait. If she's committed, she will stay consistent. If she truly wants you back, she won't disappear when you don't rush. A slow pace separates the genuine from the temporary. A slow pace protects your heart. A slow pace builds real attraction, because the man who moves slowly moves with strength. The final and most important principle is this: remain in control of the frame. The frame is the emotional environment of the interaction. Who leads, who follows, whose energy sets the tone. Most men lose the frame the moment she returns. They go back to old patterns. Their behavior becomes emotional, reactive, eager. But a stoic man stays rooted. He stays grounded. He stays unshaken. Control of the frame means you respond from strength, not insecurity. You keep calm even if she sounds emotional. You stay collected even if she tries to test you. You hold your inner peace even if the past was confusing. When you control the frame, she feels your confidence. She respects your presence. She values the stability you bring. She feels drawn to your emotional strength. A woman does not want to lead the emotional direction. She wants a man who can stay steady no matter how much her feelings shift. When you maintain the frame, you show her that you are not influenced by pressure, silence, or emotional movement. Your tone says, "I'm good. I'm stable. I'm in control. I don't chase chaos." This doesn't mean you act cold. It means you act centered. You choose the pace. You choose the tone. You choose the direction. Not from ego, from clarity. Because in relationships, the person with the calmer emotions has the greater influence. And when she returns after pulling away, she is naturally less grounded. You become the anchor. Your steadiness becomes the attraction. A man who controls the frame controls the outcome. In the end, remember this truth. When she finally reaches out after pulling away, it is not just a message, it is a moment of clarity. A moment where you get to see who you have become. A moment where your growth, your silence, and your self-control begin to speak louder than anything you could ever say. This entire process is not about winning her back. It's about winning yourself back. Because the real victory is not that she returned. The real victory is that you didn't lose yourself while she was gone. If you remained steady, if you stayed focused on your purpose, if you held your boundaries strong, if you controlled your emotions instead of reacting to hers, then understand this clearly: you already won. Attraction comes and goes, people drift in and out, but the man who learns to master his inner world becomes untouchable. He doesn't crumble because someone left. He doesn't change his worth based on someone's silence. He doesn't fall apart because of emotional distance. He evolves. He strengthens, he rises. So when she comes back, don't rush, don't chase, don't lose the frame. Let her show effort, let her rebuild what she broke. Let her prove her intention with consistent action, not temporary emotion. And if she truly values you, she will stay. If she doesn't, you will walk away with dignity, clarity, and power. Either way, you win. Because the man who responds with control becomes a man who becomes impossible to replace. Hold your peace. Hold your strength, and always, always respond like a man who knows his worth.